Nicolás Maduro Moros was born in Caracas on November 23, 1962, into a working-class family. He did not graduate from high school. Instead, he became a bus driver for the Caracas Metro during the 1980s. Maduro founded the Caracas Metro Workers' Union, Citrameca, when company officials actively discouraged unionization. His physical presence and incendiary rhetorical style made him an effective organizer. He joined the Socialist League and became a labor activist, building credibility with Venezuela's urban working class. When Lieutenant Colonel Hugo Chávez attempted a military coup on February 4, 1992, it failed. Chávez went to prison. Maduro, alongside his future wife, attorney Celia Flores, campaigned tirelessly for Chávez's release through the revolutionary Bolivarian Movement 200. This loyalty secured Maduro's position in Chávez's inner circle. When Chávez won the presidency in 1998, Maduro's institutional ascent began. He served in the National Constituent Assembly that drafted the 1999 Constitution. Between 2000 and 2006, he served in the National Assembly, becoming its president in 2005. As Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2006, Maduro constructed alliances with Cuba, Russia, and Iran, relationships that would prove vital later. In October 2012, Hugo Chávez, suffering from terminal cancer, appointed Maduro as vice president. On December 8, 2012, Chávez explicitly designated Maduro as his heir. Hugo Chávez died on March 5, 2013. On April 14, 2013, Maduro faced opposition candidate Enrique Capriles. The results were razor-thin: 50.6% for Maduro, 49.1% for Capriles. The opposition alleged widespread fraud. Maduro maintained power by securing the High Military Command's endorsement and leveraging oil prices averaging $100 per barrel to sustain patronage networks. Late in 2014, global oil prices collapsed, ending the era of subsidized populism. Between 2013 and 2021, Venezuela's gross domestic product contracted by 75%, eventually reaching 80%, the largest non-conflict economic collapse in modern history. Petróleos de Venezuela S.A., PDVSA, was once the fifth most influential oil company in the world. Maduro subjected it to political purges and appointed military loyalists with no industry expertise. Oil production collapsed from 3.02 million barrels per day in 2013 to 0.4 million barrels per day by 2020, levels not seen since the 1930s. The 2014 oil price crash stripped the regime of hard currency and triggered defaults on billions in external bonds. To fund fiscal deficits averaging 17% of GDP between 2014 and 2019, the central bank engaged in aggressive debt monetization. By 2018, annual inflation exceeded 130,000%. In 2019, inflation reached 344,510%. The Bolivar lost 100% of its purchasing power against the US dollar by 2019. In 2019, the government abandoned price and currency controls. The US dollar became the de facto currency. A dollarized elite prospered, while income poverty tripled to 96.2%. By 2025, 7.9 million Venezuelans had fled the country, one of the largest displacement crises in the world. This exodus was driven by food insecurity, healthcare collapse, and the breakdown of electricity and water systems. Chapter 3: The Narco-Dictator. Maduro militarized the state apparatus. By 2025, military leaders controlled government offices. The Bolivarian militia expanded to millions. Operación Tuntun, Operation Knock Knock, saw security forces conduct mass arrests without warrants. Between 2023 and 2024, political prisoners increased by 745%. Maduro relied on the axis of survival: Russia, Iran, and China. Russia maintained Venezuela's air defense systems with agreements extending to 2030. Iran provided drone technology and refinery expertise. In return, Maduro facilitated gold for fuel swaps. In 2020, the US Department of Justice unsealed indictments labeling Maduro head of the Cartel of the Suns. In November 2025, the Cartel of the Suns and Tren de Aragua were designated foreign terrorist organizations. The regime had transformed into a narco-state. The July 28, 2024 presidential election became the catalyst for Maduro's downfall. The National Electoral Council declared Maduro the winner with 51.2%. However, the opposition published station-level tallies proving González won 67%. Over 50 nations refused recognition. In September 2025, the Trump administration launched Operation Southern Spear. On January 3, 2026, at 2 a.m., Operation Absolute Resolve began. B-21 Raider stealth bombers and electronic warfare assets neutralized Russian-made S-300 air defense systems. The US achieved total spectrum dominance in less than 20 minutes. Delta Force and the 161st Special Operations Aviation Regiment targeted Maduro's compound at Fuerte Tiuna. Maduro was seized from his bedroom before reaching his safe room. Both were extracted to the USS Iwo Jima. Attorney General Pam Bondi unsealed indictments charging Maduro and Flores with narco-terrorism and weapons violations. Vice President Delcy Rodríguez assumed the presidency. After conversations with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, she shifted to cooperating with Washington. Maria Corina Machado, awarded the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize, was sidelined. Venezuela faces $150 billion in external debt and a destroyed oil industry. Maduro's legacy is economic ruin and the disintegration of the Bolivarian Revolution. Venezuela's future remains uncertain.